Shall we play a game?
You've got several things to do. You've got work, kids in school. What do you do when it's all over?
How do you hand something from one player to another?
Dark soul light. Turn on the TV, pick up the controller and play some games with the Nude Clan.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Nude Clan, the video game podcast that loves to drink on the job. I'm your host, Caleb Schweiss.
I'm Joseph DeGolier.
I'm Zach Sims.
I'm your host from the East Coast, Day 4, and I must mention that I don't know who was trying to not laugh more while Zach was tickling Joe's nipple during the 10 seconds of silence, either Joe or me, because I'm watching it on stream, and I'm...
I love it. So,
If we're getting cut off, or what the fuck happened there?
No, I stopped talking.
yeah, it was dead silent in here.
Oh, this is deafening.
Yeah, guys, today, as you can tell by the name of this podcast, we are reviewing the recently released Mortal Kombat film.
Get over here.
Yeah, this is kind of another reboot for the series. Origin story for everybody. Yeah, so it's a movie. We all watched it.
It's a movie.
Joe, were you the only one that saw it in theaters?
No, I went and saw it in theaters too.
Okay.
I had to.
So 50% theater, 50% trying to get laid while they were watching it.
I ain't scared of no flu.
I got the fucking vaccine.
Andy
and I had COVID. And I'm the last person on the planet who's going to be spreading that around. Stop the masks. We don't need them anymore. If you want the fucking vaccine, go get the vaccine.
Oh,
thank you.
Finally.
Yeah, finally. When the vaccine is out and available to everybody, yeah, that's when I would say stop the mask. Like I said months ago.
I'm listening to my doctor because, well, okay, I'm listening to the experts, Joe. They said to treat it like the flu vaccine. And I'm like, I don't get that one either, so I guess I just won't get this one.
Trust the science.
Yeah, Joe, trust the science. I'm trusting it because I don't get that shit ever.
Guys, it's vaxxed or maxed.
Man, I got a bruise on my arm from where they fucking poked me. I had the fucking vaccine.
Alex's is like still bruised, and she's almost time for her second one. I'm like, what the fuck? Is that ever going to go away? Like, it's that chip.
Marked you.
I thought the microchip was supposed to, like, I thought it was more of an emphasis on the micro, but it's a big ass chip.
Yeah, it's a huge.
It's like a fucking. Chip. It's like an i9 9770 fucking Intel processor.
That's why we can't get any of these fucking PS5s belts because they're using all like the chips for the fucking vaccine.
Yeah.
Just be careful of having sex with her because she might have to shut down and get the service pack upgrade while she's having sex with you. And if that happens, then like the vagina will clamp down on your dick harder than anything. Is like a safety measure.
Oh, man. I just hope it taps into the mainframe so I can get the job done faster.
She starts like waking out and he's like, oh my God, I gave her first orgasm.
Oh, God. No, I was just first off, I'm mad at the anti-vaxxers. They piss me the fuck off. So it's not like me saying this does not change that. But also the people who are still wearing the fucking mask to be like
outside,
to be like a good influence, and I'm like, because I heard that I went to a film festival and most people weren't wearing masks, and like I just want to be a good influence. Like the fucking vaccine is out. This is Utah. We got it faster than some other states did. It's like it's out. If the people want it, it's out. We don't need to be wearing masks. What are you doing?
You have to be
unless you are sick.
Ultra condescending.
Yeah,
you have to be ultra condescending to them when they're like, you just want to be a good influence. You got to like get down, like put your hands on your knees and bend down a bit. You're such a good boy. You're such a good little boy.
Or just be like, look, if you wanted to be influential, you shouldn't be making small films in the film festival. You got to go big. You got to make a fucking Transformers movie.
I'm excited to read the script you sent us on accident the other day.
Oh yeah, you can read it.
I'm excited.
I sent that to a big film.
I read the first
contest.
little bit of it, and I was like, I'm excited.
Oh, good. I'm glad. Everybody says that's the best script I've ever written. Everybody I've sent that to. So
I'm excited to read it.
I can't make it. It's too expensive of a movie to make, but I'm really excited about that script.
I have another idea, but it'll just be an idea.
It'll be an idea forever.
Yeah.
And then I'll say I'll write it and be like, no.
You can't write it.
Okay.
It's mine. No one will write it. It'll just never happen. I'll die knowing that it was mine.
Was that you I had the argument with where it was like a movie that doesn't exist is worse than a movie that... Oh, what the fuck was it?
You told me that one time, but it wasn't really an argument. I just sat there and listened.
You didn't argue back.
Hold on. No, so this was someone... I can't remember what it was, but someone will trash your writing and they'll come up with like... 'cause you gotta be around shitty people who never do anything, Zach. You gotta be around those people more.
What are you trying to say?
I mean, like people
get a mirror. No, it's
I thought he was saying it like, fuck.
I mean, like
shit.
Go to a group of people who consider themselves artists. Just go and hang out with those people and figure out the people who do things and then the people who don't, which are the majority of them, by the way. And then find the person who doesn't do anything but is also very snooty about the people who do things and what they do.
Just a doo-doo.
I'm not saying particularly mine, but people, shitting on other people who are actually making something. And the thing is, it's like, well, at least they made something. They didn't just talk about an idea they had and they never actually wrote the fucking script.
See, that's funny you say that because
the script that's written is better than the thing that doesn't exist because it doesn't exist.
So that's been actually my argument with a lot of like movies and stuff or like episodes of like shows or like whatever I've seen people comment on. I'm like, well, I didn't like this one. Especially when it's like when like a majority of people are like, oh, this was really good. And you get the comments of people that are being shitty, being snooty, and I'm like, oh, well, what have you written? I would like to read what you've written. Well, I can write a better thing. Well, you say you can, but have you?
Yeah.
I give you a comment because I believe the exact same thing. It's just like...
Yeah. It reminds me of that TV show where there was this guy who commented on Twitter he's like, I could have made that field goal in like a football game. And they actually like flew the guy out.
Yes.
And he didn't know what he was doing. Yes. And they flew him out. And they had him try to kick the field goal. And it went like 10 yards on the ground, and then he just walked out of the building. He left.
Oh.
It was so fucking funny. They're like, actually, we brought you here today because on Twitter 2 weeks ago, you said even I could have made that field goal. So here, go ahead.
Oh, please.
He like fucking pooched it. It was so bad.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Please. Yeah. Can we do that for every single category of everything?
And the guy who he was shitting on was there too, the football player that he was like giving shit to, and he just like left. He was like so mad.
That's
beautiful.
wonderful.
Yeah.
That's the most beautiful. No, I have a friend who's working in specialty costuming in Los Angeles, and there's a friend of his, and he was just a friendly guy. We all went to dinner together, and Timo, that's my friend. Timo tells me, he's like, this guy's a writer. He says he's a writer. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to ask him. You're going to ask him what he's written. And here's what I knew before he said anything. I knew this guy hadn't written anything. I knew he had written nothing. Timo comes back to me and he's like, you're right. What he's written is like a couple shorts. He's never written a feature screenplay. And I was like, oh my fucking God. I fucking knew it. It happens so much. So fucking much. I just like I find these people, like, they're so easy to find everywhere that just like say and don't do anything.
Right.
And they're way worse than the person who makes something shitty.
Yeah.
They're way worse.
I agree.
On the level of shitty human being that's calling, first off, don't fucking call yourself anything if you're not that for a living. I don't call myself a filmmaker. I have made a movie, but I do not go around to people and be like, I'm a filmmaker. I also work as a groundskeeper.
That's my side hustle.
That's my side hustle. No, I do make movies, but I don't make a living off of it. Let's differentiate the levels here a little bit. And there are these motherfuckers who go around, they call themselves, the worst one is they call themselves writers. And they don't write. They don't fucking write. What does a writer do, you motherfucker? What do they do?
They give coffee to the people that do write.
They
Talk
sit in
about other
Starbucks.
people writing and then talk about their ideas, or do they fucking write?
I always thought they just sat in Starbucks and spent more money than they could ever possibly earn.
I have been the writer sitting in the Starbucks writing, and it's a wonderful place to write. I just can't drink that much caffeine anymore because I think it causes migraines now. But
Bless.
Oh, man.
sad day, because now
Joe's tin
I
hat.
hang out at the library.
It's your tinfoil hat conspiracy. Starbucks is turning the brain stupid.
It's no one's fault but my fucking disease in my head. And electronic discharges in my brain that are going haywire every once in a while.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah, it fucking blows ass. Everything is ruined. I can't have that much sugar. I can't have that much, like, fucking grains. I can't have fucking... now it's caffeine or high elevation. It might have been high elevation.
God,
I
soon it's
haven't
gonna
had
be
it since I come
pussy.
here.
Yeah.
It's already been pussy.
It's gonna give me a migraine.
Don't worry about that, though. You don't have to worry about that one.
I haven't had a migraine since I've stopped having sex. Don't worry. I haven't had a migraine since then.
Speaking of giving stuff up, I recently gave up soda, and I'm just angry all the time right now.
Just drink diet soda, dude.
diet
Nope, I don't want any soda. I'm gonna cut it out. I'm gonna
right.
cut soda out completely.
All right, you're a better man than I am.
It's better for your like stomach to not have it. It's
So
like,
I gave up soda a few years ago, and I went like 9 months, and I was like, and it was like Christmas time, and I was like, I'm gonna buy myself a 12-pack of Mountain Dew because I deserve it. Because I've been so good. Merry Christmas to me. And I fucking jumped right back on that train, and I was like, woo-hoo-hoo! And I just went. So I want to do it again. I feel better when I don't drink soda, but the caffeine, like, I have to like now actively like make sure I get up in time to like make coffee, or
yeah,
my day is fucked
yeah.
because I can't get caffeine from anything else.
Yeah, I switched over to coffee because it was cheaper.
It is cheap.
Do you not have like a Mr. Coffee that has like a timer option or something?
No, I should though.
I do.
They're like $20
nice.
like
Yeah.
at Walmart. Just get a drip coffee maker and just set the timer for like 15 minutes before you wake up.
I just had a nasty burp, and you guys are gonna.
Yeah, I can smell it. Did you eat fucking pepperoni?
Yes, I did.
Called it.
Did you eat pepperoni pussy?
Pepperoni and cheese.
Speaking of cheese,
It's a pepperoni
let's talk
mousse.
about Mortal Kombat.
You squeeze those thighs, and
what?
the cheese
Mortal
just.
Kombat.
Oh,
You
yeah.
squeeze those thighs, and the cheese comes out like one of those cheese spray cans.
Hey, are you just trying to make me want to fucking vomit every episode? Is that the idea? You just want to
Holy
say, you just want to say the nastiest shit to make me feel fucking sick.
I'm with you. That made me
I'm
fucking
kinda
sick as
like-
oh my god.
You clearly missed that we hit the Patreon goal where we have enough money now that we try to make you throw up every single episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
It was like
fuck, man.
the $100 a month goal.
Dude, we're gonna have to like hold some saltines down here or something. Every time I fucking try something gross. It's like,
Yeah, just.
Jesus Christ.
I love that idea. Just like.
I'm telling Alex you're talking about her when she's not here.
Yeah.
Like, he said your vagina looks like a pimple.
Yeah, just pop and then.
Your husband said that.
Oh man. All right. Mortal Kombat.
Do you want me to read this?
We're not talking about.
Please read something, Zach. Please read who made it. What the
All
fuck?
right. So, Mortal Kombat was, I don't think that's when it was released. It says January 15th, 2021, and that's not what happened. Director Simon McQuaid. Mortal Kombat, hunted by the fearsome warrior Sub-Zero, MMA fighter Cole Young finds sanctuary at the Temple of Lord Raiden. Training with experienced fighters Liu Kang, Kung Lao, and the rogue mercenary Kano, Cole prepares to stand with Earth's greatest champions to take on the enemies from Outworld in a high-stakes battle for the universe.
He hasn't directed anything else, apparently.
No,
he
he's
directed
directed-
like one short film.
He's directed a bunch of commercials. That's what he does. And it's produced by
Okay.
James Wan, though, who made Saw.
Yes, I saw that last night when the
Saw
credits happened.
and Furious 7 and Aquaman. So James Wan's kind of the... He's... I
One of
mean,
those is not like the other.
what are you talking
I
about?
guess Furious 7 and Aquaman are not like all the movies James Wan produces, but still. I remember Aquaman being produced by James Wan. I'm like, that's weird, but okay.
I think I saw that movie, but I honestly don't remember it. I just remember him shirtless and then drinking straight
is that the thing you took away from Aquaman? You're like, oh, it's fucking pecs.
You didn't laugh your ass off when everybody's floating around awkwardly, because that whole movie is people like the goofy floating effect on everything in the movie is hilarious.
I just remember him drinking
The whole
straight from a
movie is
vodka
a comedy.
bottle.
That's it. Everybody just like Willem Dafoe, just like swimming at you.
You know what?
So fucking funny.
I didn't
So
see
fucking
that
funny.
one. The scenes I'm remembering are from Justice League, where he's like drinking.
Aquaman was okay. I remember liking Aquaman.
I like the
enough.
villain in Aquaman. I thought he was.
Man, no wonder I can't remember it. I didn't actually watch it. I just remember his scenes.
Yeah, it was released on April 8th and internationally, and in the United States on April 23rd, simultaneously with HBO's streaming. And it's HBO's biggest, most successful film launch so far.
Wow.
Godzilla versus Kong?
I guess that's what it's saying on the wiki page.
I do too, especially when it's like a rated R movie that is like one of the most popular ones. They don't really respect that.
It is HBO though.
You're there for the real sex.
This thing was in development.
You'd think the Snyder Cut would have done better, just because so many people wanted that shit.
Yeah, but did they really though?
Yeah, we did.
I haven't seen it. I don't know.
I didn't want it because I know who Zack Snyder is.
I wanted it.
So this movie,
it was great.
I unironically like Zack Snyder's movies. I like Watchmen. I like 300. I even like Sucker Punch.
300's badass.
I think Watchmen's pretty fucking great.
Yeah, Watchmen's awesome.
I like Dawn of the Dead, and I like
Dawn of the Dead. His Dawn of the
lot.
Dead remake was great.
So I'm not going to shit on Zack Snyder. I think he's an interesting stylist. Like, he's got a really cool thing going for him. I just think he's kind of like Michael Bay, where like he cares about the visuals way more than the story.
Yeah, but one is explosions, one is everything is slow mo.
Oh no, Michael Bay is more than just explosions. Michael Bay is way more than just explosions.
I'm just the explosions, man.
He just he films everything like an action scene.
True.
Is what Michael Bay is like.
That's
so
a
the
good point.
camera's always moving and it's always up and it's always like telephoto. And it's crazy.
Have you ever do you ever listen to like when they did epic rap battles of history on YouTube?
I have seen.
Did you watch the director one?
It was pretty good. Pretty good.
Fucking good.
It was pretty good.
I think of you when I see that.
That one was made for me. I laughed pretty hard.
Good.
I like Michael Bay's movies, but I also hate them. Like Transformers, whatever the second one is, I think it's Revenge of the Fallen. That movie fucking sucks. But like all those Transformers movies are like just solid, put it on and turn your brain off movies. So
as long as Téa Leone isn't in a scene, then Bad Boys is pretty fun. Her character is just
I haven't seen any of the Bad Boys movies, to be honest with you.
Character. It's not Téa Leone as the actress is bad. It's just like the writing in the scenes with her are some bad stuff.
I guess the only Michael Bay movies I've seen are the Transformers ones and the first Turtles.
You haven't seen The Rock?
I liked the
Rock is awesome.
I liked the second Turtles because it had Bebop and Rocksteady.
The Rock and then The Island. I like The Island Island.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of his non-IP movies. Like I didn't see Pearl Harbor, I didn't see The Rock, I didn't see The Island.
Wait, did he do Pearl Harbor?
He did Pearl Harbor.
What the fuck?
I haven't seen it.
It's okay.
I've seen. I went to the movie theaters with my grandma to see that movie.
He's Armageddon as well, right?
Armageddon, yes. He did
Yeah,
Armageddon.
that's him.
Okay, yeah, I haven't seen Armageddon either.
I haven't seen
I've seen
Armageddon,
Armageddon.
for a long time.
I watched
Yeah,
that like 10 times when I was younger.
Yeah, because it used to be on
Obsessed with
during
it.
like 4th of July weekend and stuff when I was a kid. So I'd
Yeah.
like get home from like summer camp and just be like, woo!
It's on the Criterion collection, believe it or not. Armageddon. Yeah, it's one of the early Criterion releases where they're like, should we have put this out on Criterion? That's the question.
You know what the best? Speaking of Schweiss going to Disney World / Universal, you know what the best Michael Bay Transformers movies is? Transformers: The Ride at Universal Studios.
Oh my god! All right,
that's the best one.
So I got a little bit of information on Mortal Kombat.
I literally just gave you the synopsis.
Yeah, you did give us the synopsis, but let me give you some making of, motherfucker.
Oh, I didn't know we cared about that.
I care about that shit. This shit's interesting to me. So in 1997, the original Mortal Kombat was part of a 3-picture deal, but I guess something cut the third one short.
Oh yeah, Annihilation.
Annihilation's box office performance cut it short. And by the way, I still think Annihilation and the first movie are basically on the same level. I don't think there's like, ooh, the first one's so great and then Annihilation sucks. I think they're both kind of bad.
I enjoyed them.
The first one's way funnier to me.
I feel I like the 1995 movie better than this one. But anyway,
I feel like with like those two Mortal Kombat's and Annihilation, I see them through the child's eyes that I watched them with.
I didn't watch them as a child. I watched them as a teenager.
Oh,
and,
dude,
and
yeah.
it came through, and I was like, "Oh, this is horrible."
I still dig them, dude. I remember seeing them as a kid, and I still watch them and have fun.
full disclosure, I only saw the Mortal Kombat 1995 movie like for the first time a few years ago. I still like it better than this new one, but
It's hilarious. It is so
great.
cheesy.
It's so
the movie.
entertaining.
It is so bad. It's fun. Yeah, that's the
I
nice thing.
wouldn't call it so bad. It's fun. It's just thoroughly entertaining. It's watchable.
There's no hamster ball sequence in it, and I gotta say that when I finally saw Annihilation for this podcast, that's what pushed it over the edge before the first one, is the hamster balls.
Oh yeah, when they're fighting the Baracas.
They're just like they're going through those.
Oh no, I
the
can't remember what you're
balls.
saying.
You remember?
Yeah, it's when it's how they travel between worlds.
Oh yeah.
That was so fucking funny. I don't know. So this movie basically remained in development hell
For a long time, yeah.
They were going to make it in 2005, but the New Orleans Hurricane Katrina
God damn you, George Bush.
destroyed the locations. Yeah, George Bush causing hurricanes.
Turn of the Hurricanes game.
He's turning hurricanes. And then in 2009, there was some bankruptcy issues, lawsuits concerning Midway Games, which pushed it off. And
because it was around the time. Was that the time Warner Brothers bought NetherRealm and like all that and like a lot of Midway's assets?
I couldn't tell.
Because I know for a fact the 2011 reboot of Mortal Kombat, MK9, as it's called, was made under WB.
So they're gonna move over to New Line Cinema and Warner Brothers, which I think this one is New Line Cinema. So they eventually ended there.
Yes.
They were pitched in 2010 by Kevin Trancherin. I don't know how to say his name. After that little 8-minute short film called Mortal Kombat Rebirth, which we all thought was going to be a scene from a real Mortal Kombat movie if you were around then, and it turned out not to be true, which was like also a really big disappointment as a teenager. Well, I guess as an 18-year-old for me. And
was that the one where he fights like that Baraka, like the
it was like the YouTube short that was made really. It was a really
awesome,
good short.
Johnny Cage fighting, yeah.
And so they were going to work with him, and they were going to make a movie in 2012, but with a budget projected between 40 and 50 million, and apparently that just wasn't quite enough, so they shelved it longer. And then James Wan finally started working on this thing in 2015, and they went through from different rewrites, and eventually we got the film we got, and we got the $55 million range, which they were able to do, which is really quite low considering this movie's scope, I would say.
Was the YouTube short what spawned that Mortal Kombat Legacy series? That
yeah,
came
I
out
think
on
so.
YouTube?
Legacy was sick.
I don't know for a fact, but I believe that's the
terrible.
story.
Dude, it was awesome. What are you fucking talking about?
I haven't watched it. I just heard it was bad.
Yes, it eventually evolved
That's
into
cool.
the web series. I just clicked on that and said that.
Okay.
So yes. So maybe we shouldn't have gone.
I just heard it was bad. I don't make opinions in my own.
Yeah.
I just hear things from
What did
people.
I call A4 the other day? I want to repeat it on the show itself. I called A4 jump on the bandwagon extreme. A4 jump on the bandwagon extreme. That's right.
Yeah, dude, I'm just gonna say everyone started getting PC, and then he started dating a black girl. So I'm saying you're right. He jumps on the bandwagon to be PC. That's what he
Fuck off. Fuck right off. I got Jungle Fever way before it was cool.
You even jumped on the bandwagon and bought a PC.
I did that because of COVID, and I'm like, these parts are going to get fucking.
Oh, that's a good pull.
Yeah.
Twice.
That was a good call too. I wish I would have done
Now
that.
you can't get new graphics cards, and joke's on you, motherfuckers. I can run fucking Resident Evil 8 at like pretty good settings.
And yet you don't. You just play your fucking foreign Mosaic games that you can use on Windows 95.
Last episode, you're playing it on console like a plebeian. I don't even know how the fuck you fight those Lycans with a controller instead of a mouse and keyboard.
Well, I'm not a pussy, so it was great. I told you I was getting headshots an entire game.
Yeah. Let me see your fucking completion ranking.
Hey, yeah, go look at it, bitch. And talk to your mom about some of the headshots I've given her too.
Anyway, apparently Greg Russo worked on this as a writer, which, you know, The Russo brothers
Russo
working on like
brothers, yeah.
Community and fucking Avengers. So that's cool.
So yeah, and it's doing pretty well. Considering when it's being released at the end of this COVID thing, it's made $79 million so far with a budget of 55, so still in the hole. But
Yeah. They have announced that they are making a sequel.
To throw some shade, I did hear that apparently the Demon Slayer movie did better than this, and it's in less theaters than this
Demon
movie.
Slayer was the biggest movie in Japanese box office
Yeah.
history. Of course, it did better.
I've seen it twice.
Well, but I mean over here, and it was like
Really?
only shown like limited apparently in America.
That sounds like bullshit.
I don't have the stats in front of me. I just heard that it's
Yeah,
like
I wanna see those stats.
Kombat for the #1 spot.
I mean, it might have been a number one, but if it was only
don't
limited showings, it's not going to have the tail that Mortal Kombat does.
I've heard the same thing though,
Okay, well,
but
it might be.
I'm not sure. I haven't read any article.
I've heard nothing.
I know Demon Slayer did really well in Japan, even though it was COVID. It was the biggest movie ever over there,
Yeah,
I heard it did well over here despite COVID as well.
and I was like, "Well,
Which
I've
is
never watched
actually
that TV
really
show."
It's really making me want to
movies
get
are
into
cool.
Demon Slayer because
The
that
art's
show, the few episodes I've seen are amazing. So, Mortal Kombat.
So yeah, Mortal Kombat. I had heard I'd seen one trailer when it wasn't advertised that much. I saw one trailer before. Fuck, what was it before? Was
It got announced in like January or some shit. Like the trailer came out, and then it's like it's coming out in April. It's like, oh, that's quick. Damn.
It was one of the small movies I've seen in the last couple months. But I just remember I thought the trailer looked like dog shit. The trailers that you would like scroll through on Facebook and see like a little animation of, those were better trailers than the official trailer I saw in the movie theater. This trailer I saw in the movie theater looked like dog shit. It looked like it was made for nothing. Like it didn't have good color correction on it. I remember that, and it was just shit. So when I was going into this movie theater yesterday, I was ready, and I saw the budget on Wikipedia before I left, and I was like, oh God, it's $55 million Mortal Kombat movie. I don't think they can do that now. So I went expecting it to look like dog shit, and it didn't, which I was really happy for.
There's a few things that do, like when Kung Lao first shows up and he does like a CG flip out of the ground, that looked like dog shit, but a lot of the other stuff looked okay.
Considering
The that bothered me was the idea that like, oh, we have this dragon birthmark, and I'm like, that's stupid.
the whole plot is dumb as fuck. A4.
Yes,
Let's not pretend.
Yeah.
But it's also Mortal Kombat, so it's like it's already kind of dumb.
Yeah, it's not like its source material is that hefty. Yeah,
I just love when fucking Sonya Blade was like, I did my research and apparently there are other worlds and other creatures living in there. I'm like, where'd you research that? Like, where the fuck did you find this research? Do your research.
She spends all day in the gym and looking at documents. That's her whole entire life.
Literally, the whole point of the movie was just to be like, look, it's Nighthawk, and look, it's some other reference
Kotal
to the
Khan
games that was not
has a
going to be in the
nice
fucking
scene.
movie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, the movie started, and it starts with a prologue scene.
Yep. Which is, to be fair though, that's why people were there to see Sub-Zero and Scorpion.
Sub-Zero.
That's
It was handled really well, that whole Sub-Zero and Scorpion fight.
Yeah, so it's like a couple hundred years ago.
And Hanzo Hasashi.
It's a couple hundred years ago. There's like a great fighter. He's with his family, just taking care of his family.
He's
and then
kind of an assassin. He's
then a
mercenary.
Chinese guy, and you know this because the subtitles tell you they're speaking in Chinese instead of
What
Japanese.
the fuck you were talking about in the Facebook chat last night where you said like Chinese for everything
Oh, I
said?
get that now.
I was making a joke.
That's fucking funny. No, that's funny. I didn't even get. I was like, what the? So I was like up in Salt Lake with this chicken. I was like, what the fuck are they talking about?
This is probably a reference to the Mortal Kombat movie, but I'm just going to comment back penis elevator and then Portuguese in parentheses.
Yeah,
Just to be
parentheses.
funny. I watched the first scene of the movie. I'm like, oh, there we go. That's what he was doing. Okay, I got it.
Oh, that's fucking.
That's
great.
why. Exactly. I've seen other movies do that, but they'll do it it for the first line, and then they'll like italicize the other language. This one was every single line. It would say it was in Chinese, or if the Chinese person was speaking Japanese in that moment, it would say in Japanese. And I'm like, oh.
And
You guys could have cleaned that up a
in
little bit.
smaller parentheses, it's still Chinese, but not speaking Chinese currently.
Yeah.
Like,
I was today years old when I found out that Sub-Zero is supposed to be from a Chinese clan. I didn't realize that character is meant to be Chinese.
God,
and
you
Scorpion
fucking
is
pleb.
Japanese.
Yeah, play the game.
I don't follow the deep lore of Mortal Kombat,
Yeah,
but now
so-
that stupid fucking song from that CD, oh, Chinese Ninja
Dude, you follow the lore for Sonic the Fudgin' fucking Hedgehog, but not real man
You got
lore.
that shit wrong too. So there you go.
So what I can tell, what I've read off of this film is that actually it's like a metaphor for Japanese superiority over the Chinese.
yeah.
Which is weird
I don't know
because,
if you guys read the same
it's
thing.
all about sucking China's dick these days, and they actually made like they stuck with the lore and made Bi-Han the bad guy.
Except Nomadland. Did you hear about that?
No,
So the filmmaker, the woman who directed Nomadland,
Also, it's already bad.
it's a great movie. Shut the fuck up. It's a
No,
great movie.
he didn't say it was a comedy.
No, so she said some negative things about her home country, China, and China banned the film. Complete. They were all celebrating her win as the first like Chinese, or she's the. If you count Ang Lee, who's from Taiwan, and we all know that situation's all weird, but everybody was like celebrating her win for the Oscar in China. And then they banned her fucking film like right after
Dude, they're
that.
such assholes.
I
man.
know.
And then
Those
everyone that
fuckers.
celebrated got disappeared.
Yeah, everybody was celebrating. Somehow they're not
Yeah,
here
that's
anymore.
fucked up.
You know, you're not going to have enough people to conquer the world
I
if you
finished
keep
up China's.
disappearing.
It doesn't always work out because
I-
apparently China's banning what's the Marvel movie about the Chinese guy Shang-Chi
All
or whatever.
Shang-Chi and this.
Apparently that's getting banned in China or something.
Yeah, I heard that.
And Disney
too.
tries to suck China's dick all the time. All you got to do is look at that Mulan
Well, it's
remake they
'cause
came
they-
out with last year.
They get a boost of like $70 million.
I know why. I'm just saying it's not worth it.
I think it's
agree.
interesting though that like they're just like they don't even try to hide their shit anymore. They're just like, yeah, well, they said bad things about us. We all know it's true. But
Ban it. Ban this movie that has nothing to do with China at all.
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Fuck them. All right.
So in the beginning of that prologue though, that was a pretty sweet fight.
That's why they made Sub-Zero Chinese, to be a dick.
To be
Yeah.
a dick.
That might be one of the best fight scenes in the whole movie is the initial fight between Bi-Han and Hanzo.
Yeah,
It was
really good
fun.
fight.
It was a great fight.
Good shot.
scene.
Yeah. I actually.
I mean, you know when he ties the fucking rope to the spade or whatever the fuck she was using to dig in the garden. It's like there it is. There's the fucking.
Well,
there's
see,
the
you
rope.
knew she was going to use it because it zoomed in on that fucking weapon.
Yeah.
10 times. It's like oh, look,
References-
you hear a scream, it's like do like looks like right at it.
Was
You're
it
like,
the
oh.
shovel screaming or is this the weapon?
So you knew, and
knows?
with, because we've played the games, we know Scorpion like his weapon. We know what he uses.
Yeah.
And so you expect it, but for like new people, it's like, why? Why? It's like, you could have done it once when she was digging, and we could have been fine. We could have been great, and you could have just focused on other things.
I didn't even notice that.
You're gonna go back and watch it, and you'll notice.
About
Not
the
gonna watch
references
it
to the
again.
games in this movie are about as subtle as a train wreck on a boat. But yeah.
Yeah, I actually was thinking, man, this is actually pretty good. In the first bit, like the first 10 minutes, I was like, this is really
The
good.
prologues, the first scene of the movie is pretty damn good.
It's really good, yeah. And I was like, man, this could end up being the best video game movie so far. And then it just train wrecked about a third of the way through. I was like, oh, never mind. It
ebbs. I would say it ebbs and flows because it went from really good to like real junk movie for like 2 scenes. The main character whose name I can't remember, nor can
Cole.
I say
It's
if he's
Cole Young.
Scorpion or not. He's just a dude.
He's Cole Young.
Cole Young, who they invented so they could have the whitest looking Asian guy in the movie as possible.
I feel
Yeah.
like honestly, it was just like I feel like it was just like our like random. So it's just so they could exposition dump. That's what it was for. It's so they could exposition
They
dump.
definitely
and
did
they
that.
They did that every
100%.
few scenes. They did an exposition dump.
They could have filled that in with Johnny Cage, who they specifically didn't put in this movie, but they, I guess, spoilers, they tease him for the second
he's going to be in the
movie.
next one.
Yeah.
Which is much like what happened with the first Mortal Kombat movie in the 90s. But also, like, Johnny Cage is kind of a comedy relief character in a lot of cases, and in this movie, it's more or less filled in by Kano.
It was Kano.
Which, by the way,
Yeah.
Kano was fucking great in
Kano
this movie. I
is
don't
the
care.
best thing about this movie.
Dude,
Yes.
my favorite part about him, though, too, is, like, you get the shit that's off-screen, too, where, like, spoilers, like, Sonya doesn't have a mark on her, and he just in the back goes, womp, womp, and you had to, like...
I thought it was someone in the
No,
movie
no,
theater for a
no,
second. I'm like,
it's
I'm the
Kano,
only
yeah.
one here.
Yeah, it's Kano it's him just being a dick, and it's beautiful. Everything about that scene where, like, in his sarcasm,
Yeah.
like, I felt it on a personal level because that's the kind of jokes I make at work, and it was beautiful.
Yeah. Even Alex was laughing at his stuff.
Oh, he's funny.
And she didn't like
He's
this movie
definitely
at all.
got, like, the best lines in the whole
He's
fucking
also
movie.
the best actor. Because
Yeah.
I gotta say, there's some comedy relief moments with the other characters that don't land because the actors
Aren't very good.
don't hit them that well. I'm not gonna say that all the performances had issues.
I'm not
going to
say Kung Lao was awful. But my God. Like,
There were moments that Kung Lao and Liu Kang and Sonya made me laugh, and even Cabal. But like,
Fuck, dude, I was so stoked Cabal was in this movie, man. I like he's almost
Cabal was fun too. Like,
playing Cabal.
and he's so like different in a lot of the different games that you know, there's no real way to fuck him up. I guess.
Yeah.
There was a moment, it was scene 3. So after we'd met our main character and all that crap, and then we moved over to like the Outworld. What's that? It's just called
Outworld,
Outworld,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And he goes, I don't know if I can do this line any justice, but he goes, the first line in this scene, you're in this weird area, you don't know what the fuck's going on. And
Is
goes,
this the first time you see Shang Tsung? Okay.
the prophecy is upon us. And I laughed my ass off. And I was like, oh my God, you couldn't have written
fair.
a worse cliched line to
I
put
know.
right here. It sounds like video game like writing, sure.
oh, that's just the first taste of that.
The prophecy is upon us.
You do have about 4 sentences right after the prologue that says there's a prophecy
Oh my
that
God,
Hanzo
yes.
Masashi's blood is going to stop Outworld from taking over.
I forgot
Earth
about
realm.
that. I forgot
Oh yeah,
about that.
the
Oh,
exposition
shit.
dump. Yeah, in the second scene of the movie when it's like
They
Mortal
wait
Kombat.
for the movie after the movie finally starts, then they put in the pre-credit roll of like information.
Yeah, this is Mortal Kombat.
Information.
But I mean, at the same time, like I sit there and watch it. And I'm like, I already knew this. Like,
I knew this shit.
yeah, I play these
played
games.
Mortal Kombat 10.
This movie's made for like me, so like I know what's going on right now.
There's a lot of stuff in this movie that, like, if you're a fan of the games, you'll get it. But if you're not a fan, you're gonna be like, "Why are they fighting a lizard? What the hell's going
Oh yeah,
on?"
no,
here?
no, don't worry because
Yeah.
I watched it with someone again. So I saw it a second time. So I had a friend who wanted to go see it, and that's exactly what it was the entire time. Was I don't understand this. Shut the fuck up, watch the movie.
yeah. I
Hey, what's this? Why is there a lizard person? Shut the fuck up and watch the movie.
Because he's one of the guys from the other planet thing.
That's Reptile. Why is he called Reptile? Because it's a giant fucking reptile.
from Outworld.
Just watch the fucking movie.
His arcana is to be a reptile.
Who's No, they're actually a race of people that are reptiles.
I thought they were like Sub-Zero,
Well, so that's how it was in the beginning. But like,
Okay,
more of the lore now.
Zach, I'm
there's, like,
going
a
to tell
race
you
of
right
people.
now, those are the only Mortal Kombats I've
That's
beaten.
okay. That's why
are
I'm
the
here.
first 3.
That's why I'm here to help you. But so you get to the parts where it's like, because like spoilers, Goro's in it. She's like, oh, who's that forum guy? I'm like, his name's Goro. Why is that? Oh, fucking that's what's
His name's Goro. Everybody's name is ridiculous.
What's so
in
cool
this
about
movie.
him? Look at him. He's got 4 arms. It's kind of cool.
Her name's Sonya Blade.
Yeah.
Her name is Sonya Blade.
Yeah. That's a traditional American last name. Sonya AK-47.
Mr. Blade.
Sonya AR-15.
It must be.
Yeah.
She looks Scandinavian to me, and I don't think that's a Scandinavian name.
Okay, but one of the things that I actually really hated was when Jax gets his arms like, it's the Arcana. No, fuck you, bro.
Yeah,
It's
when
like,
they expanded, I was like, this is so stupid.
I
My,
was like,
my
dude.
arcana is to be additional arm
Yeah.
to
okay.
the fake arms.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is this? And then Alex told me that. She's like, well, that's his thing. And I'm like, no, I know. It's just really stupid. But like, you couldn't have activated the fucking upgrade the moment you put them
But
on.
like I'm watching it, and I was just like, It makes more sense if the government gave him the arms. Like, just,
A lot of people complained about Jax's arm. He has the weird little spindly arms that the monks give him.
well, they're fucking monks. What do you want them to do? They're like, he's like, listen, we did the best we can.
State of the art neurosurgeons.
Yeah.
It's not Wakanda.
That Jax's special forces and that like he got his arms basically from like the government or some shit.
Yeah, the government gets it. Which I thought that fight scene was like kind of cool because it was cool seeing his arms get like shattered. Like that was cool.
I did like the line at the end where he's like, "Yeah, they fucking work." Although, like, one thing I heard of one of my friends who was way into the Mortal Kombat lore had this complaint. He's fighting that dude. What's his name? Reagan or whatever the fuck.
The hammer guy. That's not in any of the games.
He's fighting. Apparently he is.
Oh, is he?
They did some deep pulls. Like that vampire chick is also from like Deadly Alliance. But no, they fight that dude at the pit, and he doesn't throw the guy into the pit, which is the thing
dude,
you do.
Okay, I had that problem too because they're fighting in the fucking. In that stage fatality is
lost the plot.
Is you pick him up, you pick him up and you throw him in the spikes, and that's a fatality. And he's like, "I'm gonna crush." No, don't fucking crush his head, which was cool. Throw him in the pit for me. I want to see him.
You don't use the pit stage, not throw someone in the pit.
Exactly.
That's the whole fucking point of the pit.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I was happy we actually did get like some fatalities from the games and like moves from the games too. Like, Liu Kang uses his bicycle kick and he's like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Ah, it's the game. It's really cool."
They had to. There's a lot less subtle references to the games and that shit. Like when Kano just goes, "Kano wins," or when fucking Kung Lao says
fatality.
Yeah, that was
Whatever,
super
dude.
gay.
I love that shit, dude. I was excited. I was like, "Yeah, get stupid ass."
I am a dumbass consumer. I also chuckled when they said fatality.
Yeah, dude. Same. But it's like fatality for Kung Lao. It's like, no, pussy. Just say fatality.
Just say
But they
fatality.
also did that in the 90s movie, and I feel like it was better.
Yeah. I mean, Alex was freaked out by the Kung Lao one. She was just like, I looked over at her. She's like, "Oh my
Dude,
god,
that was the best.
it was pretty awesome." Yeah.
Yeah.
Pulls her into his head.
Fucking see your brain in it. Oh, it was so freaking awesome.
It's worse in the games because in the games he pulls them through crotch first. Like,
Yeah.
you get to
Yeah, it
feel
could have
your
been her
dick
puss. It could have been her puss
before
first.
you
That's
go.
what we could have seen the beginning stretch on.
That would have been
But I
cool.
It's like, oh, she's got a symmetrical vag. All right, look at that.
Kung Lao was in the 90s movie, right? Or maybe he's in Annihilation, but I
Who
didn't
is
see
Kung Lao?
Annihilation.
Kung Lao's not in any of the. No, he is. I think they mention him, but you never see him.
It was cool to see him. It was cool to see him fighting alongside Liu Kang. 'Cause,
Dude, one of the
if you
best.
played Shaolin Monks, yeah.
Yeah, one of the best lines though is when Kano comes in and he's like, "Oh, I get the Arcana thing, like lightning, fireballs. You get a shit one. You get a frisbee hat." And I was like,
Yeah. No, every line Kano had was fucking brilliant. Like,
it was funny. He was the best part of the movie for sure.
yes.
Yeah. Here's the best part of the dialogue scenes.
Okay,
The
yes,
fight scenes
okay.
were pretty fucking good, actually.
Well, they got actual martial arts to do a lot of.
Oh,
it.
not gymnasts who only specialize in backflips. Because if you watch the first Mortal Kombat movie, outside of the one fight with Reptile where people actually make contact with one another, they are flipping away from each other.
It's. I'm picturing the Sub-Zero fight right
Legitimate
now.
strategy in Mortal Kombat. Have you never done back up jump? Like, come on.
No,
Jesus
because
Christ.
I've hit people to win.
A4, there are plenty of good fucking kung fu movies from the 80s, and they fucking fell
Yeah.
and did a shit job in that 90s Mortal Kombat movie.
Agreed.
I thought the Kano line where he was making fun of people who button mash was pretty great. Like
yeah.
when he kept getting tripped by the guy, he's like, "Is that the only move you know?" And then he
I laughed pretty hard. That
Yeah.
was a good. That was a great game reference.
I was thinking that as Kung Lao was just sweep kicking him the whole time, and I'm like, oh, I get it. They're like referencing people who just use the same move over and over again. Also, as real quick to go back to the fight scenes from the '90s movie, there's an episode of Good Bad Flicks on YouTube that goes over the '90s movie, and I can't remember, but I feel like they didn't have enough time to train them properly for.
Well, that's why you get
that
actual
movie.
martial artists.
Yeah,
to do it.
Watch the Good Bad Flicks episode on the '90s Mortal Kombat movie on YouTube.
Here's
It's
the
great.
difference.
But,
I think they actually hired. I don't know. I didn't look this up, but I feel like these actors might have been fighters. I'm not saying
So
anything based upon I'm just saying they did a pretty good job in the fights and in the dialogue scenes. Maybe they weren't actors.
The dude that plays Sub-Zero is like a pretty good martial artist. Like, and he's done movies.
And he was one of the better actors.
He's done he's got a pretty good one out there. I can't remember what the name is. I think it's The Raid. That movie's fucking awesome.
Oh, he's in The Raid?
Yeah, he's the main dude.
I kind of recognized his face, and I was like,
yeah, he's the main dude from The Raid.
Oh yeah, I've only seen the elevator scene in that movie.
Dude, that
It's
movie's
pretty awesome.
fucking awesome.
The Raid is.
So actually, trivia, they said that, so I can't remember his name, but the guy who played Sub-Zero, they said he was moving too fast for a lot of the actors, so they had to like tell him to slow down.
Oh.
So like, a lot of the stuff.
We had to play Baihan / Sub-Zero. He did a really good job. He was actually quite menacing.
Oh yeah, and that exposition dump. Oh, Bihan. My name is not Bihan. I am Sub-Zero. Like, I said it!
Yeah,
But I had to go, why the fuck is your name Sub-Zero now?
yeah.
Because he gets the ice.
He was controlling ice in the first scene.
But with that same one, though, you go back to Scorpion. He's like, I am a Scorpion.
No, hold on.
And you're like, but you're from hell. Why is your name Scorpion? You have fire.
The Scorpion thing's a little weirder because he just says that like right at the end of the movie.
You ready for the real weird
like-
part? Did you guys go, why the fuck is he speaking English? He went
Because-
straight from ancient Japan to hell. And he pops up, and his first line is "Get over here!"
Because in hell is a subsidiary of the U.S., and so you all speak English.
I've met a lot of people in hell that speak English, like Charlie Chaplin or Jeffrey Epstein. So I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Who, fun fact, did not fatality himself.
Yeah.
I like how Charlie Chaplin's in that same group as Jeffrey Epstein.
The
He's like not a guy you'd want in your personal life, but I don't know. Okay,
yeah. Hell is actually a location in California.
It's true.
That's where all the homeless people take shits on the streets.
It's a specific. It's one specific neighborhood in fucking San Francisco.
4th Street and Skid Row.
Yeah.
I've taken footage.
I have taken footage.
I have.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the gore in this one.
Oh, yeah. And that was like the thing that I almost brought my nephews, and my mom was like, is that PG-13? And I'm like, oh, I have to
90s
check.
movie is, right? Like, isn't
It
the 90s
is.
movie famously PG-13?
Yeah, it is PG-13. I looked it up and I'm like, oh, shit. They made this for adults.
Well, because they like.
And then I
it's
watched the
weird.
movie and I'm like, did they?
It's weird because the 90s, like, Mortal Kombat was like specifically. Excuse me, Rick
What
and
the
Morty.
fuck? We are an adult podcast.
In the 90s, Mortal Kombat was like very much targeted towards kids. Like there was a live fucking stage show based on Mortal Kombat back in the 90s.
Well, that's because we were the ones playing the nickel. The nickel
No,
machines.
I understand why. I'm just saying you had this very violent series, and at some point they were like, "There's a children's cartoon, there's a live stage show that's touring around the U.S." Like, so I can understand why the movie in the 90s was rated PG-13. They wanted to get as many people in the seats as possible.
Oh, yeah, and they didn't
but
care about
now,
the
like,
lower
it's
age,
like
so.
now that Mortal Kombat's not as popular with kids as it was in the 90s, so I can understand why they went to make this one R-rated. I get it.
Well, yeah, and you go like half the fun of the Mortal Kombat's is like they make the fatalities worse and worse every time, and now you can you can do them easier in the newer games. So it's like it's kind of a big draw.
You can't do them easier. You get one button to do it easy. To like, hey, this is what you can do, but then you don't get there. If you use it once, you're done. You have to go through and figure them all out again, and it is button. But I got a story. So I got out of Mortal Kombat. I saw opening day. I thought I had registered my car. Spoiler alert, I did not. I paid them to do the check and everything, and I had thought, and she's just like, and the chick specifically told me, she's like, oh yeah, like, we're out of stickers, but you can just get one from the DMV. And I said, what happens if I get pulled over? And she goes, oh, it'll be in the system. Like, you just show them this and you'll be good. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yes. Spoiler alert! This cunt was wrong. So I get pulled over by the sheriff, and he comes like walking up. So that meant my car had been not good since September. But I drove it illegally up until February. So like do that, and I'm like, I don't want to go to the DMV. I don't have time. You have to make an appointment. It's a pain in the ass. Like I'll just show them this if I'm good. So, maybe it was March when I got it. Now whatever. So anyway, so the sheriff comes up and he's like, I pulled you over, and I'm like, yeah, I don't have the sticker. I said, let me get you this. He's like, well, my system's not saying it's registered at all, and I was like, ooh, I paid for it. like, I did this. And he goes like, okay, well, if you can find proof, and I show him the paper, he's like, yeah, I can't do anything with that. And I'm like, but the lady at Jiffy Lube told me I could use this. Like, and he's like, so I got people in the car, right? And so then he's just like, okay, well, he goes like, look for the papers. I'll go back and like do like the check or whatever, like where's your license, whatever. So do that. His deputy comes up and is talking to my friend while she's sitting in the seat. And he's like, where are you guys coming from? And she's like, oh, we saw Mortal Kombat. And he's like, I fucking love Mortal Kombat. I can't wait to watch this. So I'm like, there's my in. So I'm like, dude, it's so good. You should go see it. Like, it's fun. The movie's fun. Like, if you like he's like, dude, I'm just so stoked for the fatalities. I'm like, bro, you're going to dig it then. Like, the fatalities are amazing. And he started talking about the 90s movies. I'm like, oh yeah, dude. I'm like, I remember as a kid, like, now, like, kind of crap, but like I see them through those rose-colored like glasses, and he's like, dude, right? Oh man, I'm gonna play the game when I get home now. I'm like, dude, you should add me on PlayStation. He's like, hell yeah. I'm like, yeah, we'll Mortal Kombat it up. So then the sheriff is standing right there, and I didn't see him because I'm talking to the deputy, and he like goes, and I was like, oh, sorry, sir. And he's like, did you find the paper? And I'm like, I went through everything. That's all I have. And he goes, okay. He's like, so this would be a $1,400 fine.
Oh my.
And I was like, but I don't have my stimulus anymore. And so he looked at me and he like tried not to laugh. And he's like, he goes, but because you thought you did it, I'll let you go. And I said, I'm just about to buy this car for my friend anyway, because it was the one I bought. I was like, I just have to go get some papers signed and I'm going to go to the DMV. And I said, like, it's Friday. And I'm like, I can do it Monday. And he's like, okay. And I said, sweet. And he's like, so I'm letting you off the warning. And I was like, sweet, thank you so much. Like, that's really cool. And then he's like, I am pretty stoked to see Mortal Kombat 2. And he like went to turn around, and the deputy was like talking, and he's like, hey, we gotta go. And he's like, you guys have a great night. And he just like left, and I was like, thank Christ for talking about Mortal Kombat.
And he thought you pulled a gun, and then he shot you.
Yeah, because I'm Mexican. That's really why he told the deputy to leave, because he heard him back go like that. He's like,
pulled over by Stryker.
Yeah, for real. But yeah, so if you're lucky, Mortal Kombat gets you out of a $1,400 ticket.
Jesus.
The story was going to end with you doing the splits and punching the cop in the balls and driving away.
He didn't realize my fat frame could do the bicycle kick. I'm like, whoa! And it's like hitting him back into the road. And then I give a stage fatality because a bus comes in at the last minute. I'm just like,
when it comes to Mortal Kombat characters, you look a hell of a lot more like Bo Raicho than anything.
dude, I almost cosplayed Bo Raicho because he's cool.
Dude, that'd be rad.
He's
They mentioned Bo Raicho
he's
in this
the
movie.
they
like,
do, yeah, they do, because he said he got found by him. So Bo Raicho, for those who don't know the lore, is like a monk, but he like is the drunken master one. So one of his things in the game is he throws up on the ground because he takes a drink, and then people start like slipping like the Mortal Kombat one.
Bo Raicho also apparently is like
I played
Spanish for drunk or something.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Sorry. I was like,
I played Deception. I didn't play the story modes.
There's a few minor references that
Just say they're worse than the 90s movie.
you're not wrong, but 9 is a great story. 9 was sweet.
Okay.
No, Mortal Kombat 9 is amazing. When Jax first meets white guy Asian in this movie, I forget what his name is, he's like, oh, you're the guy who took the belt from Ed Tobias, and I'm like, I get it, because Ed Boon and
Oh, yeah. If you played the games and like know like some of the lore, there's a lot of like Easter eggs.
Yeah, I was thinking like if I knew nothing about this universe, this movie would make no sense to me at all. 'Cause they
Exactly.
don't-
But I mean,
there's
like,
It's
too
just
many-
martial arts superheroes.
There's too many characters. They don't get enough time with each of them, and
They introduce a lot of the villains just for them to get killed
yeah,
off
like
right
Prince
away.
Yeah,
Goro.
but you put,
look
like-
at that little bitch walking up
but you
to us.
have-
That Prince Goro, little pussy.
but
about
you
to
have
die.
like quotes killed because they like he's like, death is only another path, and he just like
Saw Natara get split in half by Kung
yeah,
Lao's
but
hat. I don't like it.
but he's not bringing her back.
So the next one's going to be Mortal Kombat 2. Mortal Kombat Goes to Hell.
No, because like so there's a guy named you play Deception. There's Quan Chi, and he like
Yeah.
he'll resurrect him.
Oh.
So like
Quan Chi's a-
Sub-Zero becomes Bihan becomes Noob Saibot. So they kind of teased that when he ripped his
I
armor
want to
off and it
see.
was all black.
I want to see Noob smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, Smoke would be cool.
Smoke was going to show up when they showed
Yeah,
I
so
didn't
did I.
No, it was Rain. They were going to
I
show
did too.
Rain.
No, No, when what's his nuts
Goro.
Asian guy main character comes out, like he goes back to his like house, and then like smoke is coming out of the bar. And I'm like, are they gonna put smoke in this?
I
movie?
thought they were going to put smoke, and then it
so
turned
did
out to
I.
be Goro, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was interested in why
Guess he just
fought
had
Goro.
bean burrito for lunch.
So I thought the same thing when the black smoke was covering Bihan at the end, Sub-Zero. I'm like, oh, he's going to become Noob Saibot. Like, even though they did that with
the
like
shadow
another
clone.
character that died, I'm like, well, I know he becomes Noob Saibot, so that's clearly what they're referencing here.
So, I mean, like, he did take... So you see Bihan and you see Goro go, but I wouldn't be surprised if he took Kano and everyone that died in that fight and brought them back later. Because, like, Melina is Shao Kahn's daughter, so, like, I can see them bringing her back for...
There's other Outworld characters they haven't tapped yet for this movie. Like, they could have Kintaro in there. They could have...
Yeah, well, Shiva. They can have Shiva in there because it's girl power. She's a female.
and
warrior.
Sindel.
Oh, God, I want to see her in tight purple leather.
Yeah,
Hell yeah, dude.
Alex
I was
was.
surprised there was no Katara or Jade, just Melina. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah,
dude?
Jade would be good. And then, like, Katana wasn't in it.
I had no. Yeah, that's what I said. I have no problem that
Shiva.
Melina was black. I thought she was hot. But at least they did finally do the thing where she had like an actual weird, fucking fucked up jaw with full of teeth.
Yeah, the Tarkatan mouth was sweet.
Yeah.
I thought it was funny because Alex was like, "Oh, are they going to make the main character a girl?" And I was like, "Alex, this is a Japanese movie. What are you nuts? A woman as the main character?"
It's not a Japanese movie. Not in the
So,
film.
I was telling you about the person I saw it the second time with, and Melina's face does that, and the first thing she says is, "Man, it sucked to get a blowjob from that chick." I'm like, "What's a fucking movie?"
The whole thing from Melina, at least in the games, is like she has like one of those face masks on, so you can't see her mouth, and like the whole point is when she rips it off, she's got like the fucked up Tarkatan teeth.
I mean, it's to save money for the one effect shot later.
It looked cool.
I
Like it looked cool. The fatalities looked cool. That was the most important. Like honestly, like not most important, but like it was one of the things I really was looking forward to.
I'm trying to figure out how they only did it for $55 million. It really is like they really pushed their budget to the limit on this movie.
There are good effect scenes in this movie, like when Jack's got his arms frozen off.
All the
and,
ice shit I thought was fantastic.
I agree.
Oh, that fucking scene where he's got the shotgun and he shoots it at Bihan / Sub-Zero and like he freezes the bullets in midair.
Yeah, that
looks
was cool.
Fucking awesome.
It's fucking sweet. Like the whole
Yeah.
every scene with Sub-Zero I think is pretty fun.
He was definitely a good bad guy.
Yeah.
Including the tag team match at the end where what's his main character and fucking Scorpion are tag team fighting Sub-Zero.
Yeah, that was one of
You can
the.
see that. He kind of does the fatality where he takes his face off and it's a
No,
skull.
that was the fatality. I mean, he just didn't do his full face. He
Kind
just went to
of,
his
like,
jaw. What do you mean,
it's
kind
just
of?
his mouth.
That's a fucking fatality. They're on the ground, and he breathes fire on him. What did you want him to jack off on him at the end as well?
Skeleton.
Give him his cum
His
lava.
fucking job
Lava
to his
cum.
nose was a skull. What did you want? It was a fatality.
Why did his whole face to be a spooky
Jesus
skeleton?
Christ.
Yeah, they did kind of half-ass it.
I mean, I thought that's what it was going for too, but the effect looked cool.
You know-
it looked
I
cool.
thought it was fun.
So the
Yeah,
movie,
thank you, Joe.
the movie was awesome for the first like 10 minutes, and then it was pretty lukewarm for about
was-
an hour. And then like when Scorpion came back, I was like, oh, awesome. And then it was lame again. Like,
For 30 seconds till it ended, you're like, yeah.
I was like, oh, it's Scorpion. And then the fight was cool, I guess, but I was like, I don't really give a shit. Like, I don't know.
Bro, they were using moves from the game. It was cool, man. He did like a scissor kick.
I
like,
thought it was kind of cool. I thought it was kind of cool. I liked that, they finished off what they set up in the prologue. And
Yeah.
it comes back and it's not just
His
like
face.
it wasn't as cool as it should have been, though, when he
film
came
people
back.
would call that a callback.
It wasn't as cool as when he came back. It wasn't as awesome.
I just wanted to
Maybe.
see. I just wanted to see your face. That's all. I
set up
wanted.
and payoff.
I
all I
guess,
wanted.
but the payoff wasn't that good. Like, I wanted it to be way more awesome when he finally came back, but then he just kind of like showed up randomly,
And he kicked
then,
his ass.
And then,
They had to
and then
do-
they tag teamed him.
They
to
had to
death.
tag team him because Sub-Zero's the best. This movie made it official is that it takes two fucking scorpions to kick Sub-Zero's
Look,
ass.
no, it's
Takes
one
two.
scorpion and one guy with really gay golden
Yeah, it
armor
was
on.
Scorpion, and then like his handicapped kid he brought to work.
Yeah.
That's
Bring
what
your-
the fight was.
It takes
Scorpion.
1.5 scorpions to make up one Sub-Zero.
It's 1
Because
1/4
Sub-Zero-
tops.
Because this is the most important thing. Guys, all you motherfuckers who think Scorpion's cooler than Sub-Zero, this
is.
movie just fucking proved you wrong.
I did not.
It
Actually.
totally did. It took
did
one
not.
and a half Sub-Zeros to or
He
one and a
did
half
kill-
Scorpions to even touch Sub-Zero.
Yeah.
Our guy doesn't even fight Sub-Zero. He's punching his wife out of icicles. With
That's true. And then he does one like when he
Yeah.
does the spear and he's like wraps it around his like weapon and throws it. And I'm like, it's bullshit.
Bring your retard to work day. That's what that was. But he helped. I agree. Sub-Zero is my favorite character too.
I got your pussy.
He's always the bad guy though. It's bullshit.
No, he's only the bad guy in the first one, and then his brother comes, and his brother's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
His brother is like a good guy.
Yeah, that's why like when they do the second one, his brother comes in, you're like, oh, good guy Sub-Zero. Okay, so we'll work with the people. And we'll be
And then the bad Sub-Zero turns into Noob Saibot. So
yeah,
Yeah. I don't know. I wish.
be like Sonya Blade and do your fucking research.
Yeah. I wish.
Research.
I wish the movie were cooler than it was, but like. I don't know. When he came back, I was like, "Oh, awesome! It's Scorpion again." And then I was just like,
I went through hell.
"Yeah." And I was like,
Fire's trying to consume me.
as far as the Scorpion story goes, the animated movie is better. But
That is a really
Yeah.
good movie, and I hope. Don't you fucking make a face. You watch the movie first.
"We have it on."
No, dude,
You couldn't have said any more weeby sentence in your life.
No,
A4.
for real. Joe, watch the fucking movie.
Scorpion's Revenge is pretty great.
Hold on,
That's
hold
a
on.
good movie.
The cartoon is better.
He's right.
Because
though,
it's a
it really
cartoon
is.
doesn't make it. Just because it's an animated movie doesn't make it not good.
Just because it's animated doesn't mean us adults can't watch it too.
The thing with animated
Sure.
over like the normal Mortal
This is
Kombat.
what I love. No. I'm gonna go off on Joe right now because this is what I fucking hate.
You're
This is
so
the motherfucker who
sensitive.
plays Nier. This is the motherfucker who plays Nier on like automatic mode, but then he's like, cartoons are for children. And
He thought it was near automatic.
Isn't that in the name? Automatic? I feel like the best part with an animated movie though.
Joe, my name's Joe. I go to eat baguettes and croissants while I watch my gay French movies about lesbians. But heaven for fucking bit if I watch Coraline, which is a good movie for adults and
watched
children because it's
Coraline.
animated.
It's okay.
Bleh. If it doesn't have actual actors in it, it's not theater.
I don't see one penis
Coraline has-
ejaculating on screen.
Hold on. A4, it's okay. I was kidding. A4, it's okay.
Oh, fuck you! I went to school for animation, and that's why I'm thousands of dollars in debt. Fuck you!
But real quick,
Wait, why the fuck don't we have an opening animated sequence, you fuck?
because we didn't pay attention in class.
It takes a long time to animate shit. You fuck, man. If you watch more animated movies, you know that. You
I watch a lot of animated movies. I can make fun of for it.
But you should watch The Scorpion's Revenge
It's
because really
pretty
it's
good,
pretty
yeah.
sweet.
Yeah, no, Scorpion's Revenge. You can shit on WB as much as you want, but a lot of the times their animated movies are way fucking better than their live action output.
What I like with
like Pokemon the first movie. Yeah, go ahead.
what I like about The Scorpion's Revenge though
Fuck you,
is
it's like the Pikachu Neo. Fuck you.
it does they do things like fight wise they really couldn't have gotten away with in live action
Oh yeah,
without it looking
I can believe
cheesy
that.
like that. But like if you get a chance, it's on the video. You should watch.
They also go into more lore in the animated movie than they do in this one. Like Quan Chi is like a main character in the animated movie.
I think maybe too much lore was some of this movie's problem.
Yeah, I think they.
I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
I don't know if going
Here's-
into more lore really
For-
attracts
for,
me.
for me,
But
it was more of an Easter egg find.
judging this movie and the animated movie as like a Mortal Kombat like fan who knows the lore, kind of, the animated movie's better.
Well-
it pays more attention to like the actual overarching story of these games.
Yeah, one thing I was thinking leading up to this review was I feel like they wrote a script and they had an idea of what they wanted to do, and then they had a bunch of guys like, oh, you gotta have this guy in the movie. Oh no, you gotta have Goro. You gotta have blah blah blah.
It's like, we got three
can't make a
characters,
Mortal
they're solid.
Kombat movie without blah blah blah, and then that's what they did.
He's not wrong. He's not
They
wrong.
fucked
Listen,
it all up.
we gotta put.
I
we gotta
thoroughly
put-
didn't give a shit. No, I'm be honest. Like I was like,
You gotta put this random character from Deadly Alliance in the movie. It's like the vampire chick, really? Okay, sure.
Well, she was hot. What did you want? Like,
I did no
Great
idea who
rack.
that was. That's the only person in the movie I didn't
I never
know.
played Deadly Alliance, so I didn't
I
either.
have played Deadly Alliance, not the story mode. Sorry, Zach. And
We gotta put General Reiko in the movie. We gotta put Cabal in the movie.
Yeah, they
No,
gotta be in
you
here.
shut the fuck up about Cabal. He deserved his time in the spotlight. God damn it!
Cabal was fun as like a partner to Kano. I agree.
I enjoyed him.
What was the-
Out of all the weird side characters they kind of like foisted on in this movie,
I'm really
Cabal's the best
upset.
one.
The one thing I wanted to see him do, because he is super fast, I wanted to see him punch Liu Kang and then super speed around to like catch him again. Because like
I
in the
should
game,
mention,
that's a move where you
Cabal-
do it and you run around the world and you hit him again the second time and launch.
I should mention Cabal is the best side character in this movie because unlike the vampire chick and the guy with the hammer, he actually has lines, unlike those other two.
That's true.
They have
Those other
screams
two
and
talk.
grunts. What are you talking about?
They don't talk at all in this movie. They exist to die.
That's okay. Some people just exist that way.
They're just red shirts, just straight up red shirts.
a little bit.
Also, Shang Tsung not transforming at all in this movie is fucking bullshit.
Well, that's because spoiler:
sequel.
Kung Lao dies in this movie, sucks his soul out. So
No, I get it, but it's like-
you know he's gonna be Kung Lao because he's a fucking cocky son of a bitch. He doesn't care.
No, but like, doesn't Shang Tsung transform in the 90s movie? Or am I remembering it wrong?
I think he doesn't do the brother once.
Because that's his whole fucking point, is he can transform into people whose souls he
But he
stole.
only transforms into the brother once.
They
in the
even
show.
reference the 90s movie when he says their souls are mine. I'm like, oh, that's the line from the 90s movie. Cool.
Yeah, the movie, the line that makes the movie where you're watching it and you're like, oh, I know what kind of movie I'm getting into.
No, I mean, you can make fun of the your souls are mine bullshit, but they actually put that actor in Mortal Kombat 11 as DLC.
He breaks the fourth wall. It's the only time the movie breaks the fourth wall is in that one line. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. This is what I thought of the movie kind of overall. Fight scenes I thought were fun. I really, really am glad that they brought in the Cabal character because he is a breath of fresh air to every scene. If it wasn't in this movie would be dismal to watch without Cabal in it. So thank
bit,
Cabal
yeah.
or Kano?
thank
Him
God.
and Kano, yeah.
Thank God Cabal's in there. Hopefully when they make the second movie, Johnny Cage is as good of a comic relief because that's what it's going to take. 'cause
I imagine I hope they
He
bring
kind
Kano
of
back.
has to be.
the other
'Cause he's
characters
like,
are just like cliches, walking cliches all over
Right.
the place.
yes, although Sonya wasn't as annoying as I thought she'd be in like the current girl power climate. She was just like kind of a normal person.
No,
That
she's
was
she's
good.
just kind of a soldier lady. But but she had some lines that were supposed to be funny that kind of fell flat. So I don't know. And the Cabal character, he's a really good actor. So that's the thing.
I chuckled when Sonya promised Kano $3 million, and the guy's like, "You have $3 million?" She's like, "No, I live in this shithole. You think I have $3 million?"
Oh, I thought that one kind of fell flat for me.
I laughed at that,
I
but at the same
chuckled.
time,
I would have
was
laughed
like,
in the
he's-
script, but I don't think I heard. I don't think she pulled it
I
off.
also chuckled when she's like, "Give the GPS to main character guy," and Kano's like, "No," and then she like fights him and then just steals the GPS and just chucks it to him. I'm like, "All right, that's funny."
Yeah, I think you're thinking of Kano for the comedy relief, but I think you're right. I think that's going to be.
Oh, did I say Cabal?
You
Yeah.
kept saying Cabal. Cabal had some funny lines, but Kano definitely carried that.
I think it's going to be Johnny Cage the next time. Yeah.
Which is weird because
Which
in
he
the
should
original
be.
in the original 90s movie, the person who probably had the most comedic relief was Raiden, and this Raiden sucked compared to
Yeah.
Christopher
Oh.
Lambert.
What do you
I'm
mean
sorry.
The rating
I thought the same thing.
Little Dutch girl.
This Raiden was so fucking boring and stoic,
I thought-
and I'm
I thought
like,
the same
no,
thing.
give me Christopher. And
I
here's the
missed
thing, too.
Christopher
Again,
Lambert.
Give me the
Again.
Dutch women.
they're dipping a lot into the nostalgia with Mortal Kombat 11, but they did make Christopher Lambert a DLC skin for Raiden
Yeah, they
in Mortal
did.
Kombat
Oh,
11,
thank
and
God.
for good reason, because he's iconic as shit. Where he's like, "You must fight in Mortal Kombat." It's
Mortal
fucking great.
I am not.
I love
And that one
There
scene
can
in
be only
Annihilation
one.
where they cut his hair off and he's like, "Who are you?" He's like, "No, I'm alright." And he's like,
Dude,
obviously, bro, like you fucking assholes.
Whatever Asian guy they got to play Raiden in this one didn't even look like Raiden because he didn't have like the long hair. I liked
You
Christopher Lambert's
realize
Raiden way
that
better.
in the games he has a little like thing that covers his head so you can't see his hair.
No, whatever.
It doesn't. The thing is, no one has in the one in Armageddon wasn't good either. That was one of the worst parts of Armageddon was that Christopher Lambert wasn't in it.
Annihilation.
Yeah, or I mean Annihilation. Sorry. But Christopher Lambert, he has a screen presence that's a lot stronger.
Yeah.
Of course, he was a leading man, so for a little while, and I don't know, he's just better casting.
Christopher Lambert.
Well, and it's the thing that like in this movie, Raiden is just like so dismissive of everybody. Whereas, like, he doesn't have the comedy to back it up. Like, Christopher Lambert might have been like, ha, 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 you suck. But he would have laughed about it and made it, like... Yeah, he would have made it funny. But this guy's... Like, this guy just sees Earth's champions and he's like, you all suck, go home. And it's like, all right, that's mean as shit. What the fuck? Like...
Did it hurt your feelings?
Yeah.
No, but it's like this doesn't seem like a guy who cares about saving Earth.
He's like, hey, you guys
like,
suck, and he forces his father in Raiden. He's like, oh.
No, fuck you. He like dunks on everybody, and it's like, you're supposed to be the defender of Earthrealm. Like, do you not care about these people?
Oh,
like,
you went and got a degree in animation? Okay.
Fuck off.
There was some like really choppy editing to cover up some of the bad acting I noticed. I don't know if you guys noticed, but the editing was much faster in the dialogue scenes than it was in the fight scenes. It was just going pop, 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 pop. And there was some like, I don't know, this is unfortunately I see movies this way now. A lot of the times if I like get out of it a little bit, I'm like, okay, cut. Why are they cutting to that so quickly? What the fuck are they doing? And it's just to cover up bad performances. I know that's what they had the problem with. So they got people who could fight well on screen, and they can't. Like, the performances were poor, and then the editing and the dialogue scenes were was obnoxious.
The only scene where the editing was weird for me in terms of dialogue was when Sonya like is shining her flashlight at the main character guy, and they just don't cut away from him at all to show like her silhouette or anything. It's just like one long shot of her shining her flashlight at him, and I'm like, I feel like I'm seeing something on like the editing floor where like they didn't cut between her and him. It's weird.
I can sympathize with not having enough footage.
I did laugh when I was watching Joe's movie, and there's a scene where there's a guy riding his bike on the path, and he like waves to Joe with the camera. I laughed pretty hard at that.
I don't remember a wave. Does he have a wave?
Yeah, there's a guy that's like he nods at you. That's what he does. He like nods your acknowledgement.
I never noticed the nod.
I laughed fucking hard at that. I was like, I bet Joe, and then you like move the camera real fast. Like, everybody's like, no, get out of here, get. It's just some random dude walking, like riding his bike, and he looks over at you and just nods, and then you like go back to the woods real fast.
Oh, that part! I thought you were talking about the guy on the motorcycle.
No.
I was like, I don't remember that guy nodding.
No,
okay.
Yeah, I was like, it's like that. It's like you just.
Oh, I didn't even notice. I never looked at his face. I think that's the problem.
Yeah, he acknowledges you as the camera, and I'm like, oh, I bet that drives him nuts. It's still there.
It will if I watch it again now.
Yeah, just look out for it.
I'll notice it. But yeah, I can sympathize with not having enough footage for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, the movie was kind of, I guess overall it was like, for me it was okay. I had a good time with a lot of the fights and a lot of the callbacks to the games, and like the nerd in me was happy with that. The film snob in me that was pretty angry at some of the dialogue scenes being the way that they were and some of the acting being the way that it was. But then we had Kano kind of making up for it. So I would say, it's in the, unfortunately, it's in the upper tier of video game films once again for me.
Yeah.
I think it beats the other two Mortal Kombat movies way the fuck out of the water, and I think that A4 is insane thinking that 90s one is better.
Well,
I'll let you guys have your opinion.
I think the 90s one is more fun because it's fun to laugh at, and it's so painfully over the top. But yeah, this movie is, I guess it's probably near the upper area of the video game movies, but I don't like it more than Tomb Raider. I don't like it more than
Rampage.
I don't like it more than Sonic. I don't like it more than Detective Pikachu. It was really, really good, and I was like, man, this is going to be a legit movie. Like, during that, like, prologue part, I thought that was awesome. I was like, holy shit, did they actually do this? And then, like, the more I watched, the shittier it got. And, like, all the moments that, like, wow, that should have been really cool, but it was just kind of lame to me.
I did like that they didn't just, like, rip off another movie's plot in its entirety.
Well, like Last of Us 2?
Now, have you seen...
Sorry, I have to bring that in.
Have you seen Enter the Dragon? starring
Yeah.
Bruce Lee. It's a whole bunch of fighters, all the best fighters from around the world going into an island to fight each other, and exactly plot by plot point,
Mortal Kombat.
exactly the same plot.
Yeah, it's
just not
Bruce
just
Lee
not
and
like
Liu Kang.
superpowers. They're just like really good fighters. It's the only difference between the two movies. And one of them, believe it or not, the cheesy one that's not shot as well and is like 70s gear and everything is a better movie. It's way better. Somehow, like it gets away with being like a way better movie by the end of it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I think these guys had the same problem as that one Eastwood movie based on, it's like 1719 to Paris or something like that.
Oh, bad actors.
Yeah, like they're like, oh, we got the guys. First of all, I've never seen that movie, but I know they got the guys that were part of the event. So I'm like, spoilers, I know they live because they're not dead in real life. They're actually playing their parts. And then secondly, it's like they're playing their parts, which is a cool idea. Unless you're someone that doesn't really train actors very well, and that's definitely that guy. He just like likes to jerk off to his awesome imagery. So like,
it's odd because Clint Eastwood is an actor.
he is an
And
actor.
he
Yeah,
just, like-
he didn't give a
He
shit.
leaves actors alone. It's there's some performances in Gran Torino that
yeah,
are just
that are
like
so bad. The movie's awesome because of him, but like,
it's true. He gets away with it, but there's some bad performances in some of his movies for some reason.
yeah, I remember there was an article where one of them was like trying to cancel the movie, and I was like, "Oh, you're one of the kid actors that was the Asian in the movie. I'm not going to listen to you. You suck. you're shit in that movie." But yeah, it's kind of like that where they had good fighters, and the fight choreography was pretty good in this movie. I won't lie, I enjoyed it. Like Joe was talking about, a lot of times you'll get the cuts and the action parts. Because they don't know how to fight, and it's just them like getting good little bits, and then they have to cut back and forth
So
to kind of mask it.
when I watch Game of Thrones, that's what the fight scenes are. I'm like, stop the fight scenes in Game of Thrones, please God.
Yeah,
until the last season. But
Until like season 6, when it was like a full like straight up battle. Yeah, it was like that for a long
the
time.
fight scenes in Game of Thrones are so bad.
I like the Battle of the Bastards though.
That's where they get good, is when it's
The
an
fight
entire.
scenes,
I mean,
The
like
fight scenes in this
one-to-one
were pretty
sword
great.
fights are terrible. For like cinematically bad, and do not stack up to any like mid-budget Hollywood film that would have the same budget as that fucking show did. Yeah, but go ahead, A4. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say the fight scenes in this were pretty great. I thoroughly enjoyed pretty much every single one of them. Highlights, I guess, being the first fight with Sub-Zero and Hanzo, and the fight with Sub-Zero and Jax was pretty great.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. What did you
Not
think
really
of the
much
movie?
else to say.
What did you overall think of the movie?
I thought it was good. I still like the 90s one better, but I liked this movie more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, I have the same kind of opinion. Well, the second part.
Yeah.
I liked it way more than I thought I was going to, based upon like
There
the
were
shitty
parts that
trailer
made me
I saw.
chuckle. As someone who's vaguely familiar with some of the lore of the Mortal Kombat games, I enjoyed some of the little references here and there. Although I can imagine those would be extremely confusing to someone who doesn't know shit about Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Like when Reptile shows up, and like if you don't know who that is, you're probably just shrugging your fucking shoulders, going, "What the fuck?"
There's a reptile after him.
Fighting a lizard.
There's a Komodo dragon after him.
It's a Komodo. That's a Komodo dragon.
Yeah. I don't like it. I also don't like this fucking this trend of making Reptile an actual reptile instead of a ninja.
Yeah, I mean, although I laughed harder at the 90s Reptile, that was probably the most painful part of that first
Well, that's
movie.
because it's fucking 1995 CGI. Like,
Dude,
what do you expect?
if they've made him a reptile in like 9, like he's actually a lizard. Like that's what they've done recently. And all the costumes were more based off like the recent.
He's just supposed to be. He's supposed to be with Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and
Nope.
and Reptile.
Yeah, he's supposed
They're
to be
all-
like a
because they
big
didn't
kid.
have,
They have the
they
same
didn't have the
character
technology at the
model.
time. So they just copied the character model 17 times. And they're like,
Just change the color.
look at
I think I
our
would
pride
say-
flag of ninjas. Is what they did.
Damn straight.
I think my favorite version of Reptile is the one from MK9 where he's like got.
Oh, he's got a
reptilian
lizard face?
features. He's got a lizard face but human body. I like that version a lot.
I don't think you should shame him for his body. It's kind of fucked up.
Well, but he can turn invisible. I don't have to see him if he doesn't want me to.
Overall, I went into this movie for the fatalities. I went in for the blood, and I went in to see it be brutal, and I got exactly what I wanted. Like, honestly, I really did. I got exactly what I wanted. This wasn't
an entertaining movie.
This wasn't a
if you're willing
movie.
to turn-
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you want people to hear you. It's okay. Go ahead.
No, cause it's hard because I'm on the other end, so I don't know when you're going to
No, you're fine. No, what were you going to say? No, just give me
It's an entertaining movie if you're willing to turn your brain off and just enjoy it as a Mortal Kombat movie.
Well, yeah.
I still think the 90s version is a better movie overall, but like it's entertaining if you just want something to watch and it's like action.
I enjoyed it because I did exactly that. I turned my brain off. I got what I wanted. I got exactly what I wanted. I wanted badass fights too, and I got it. That's what I wanted.
Much in the same way that you might turn on Transformers 5 or 4 the last night or whatever the fuck. It is that kind of movie where it's just like, I just want to watch something dumb, but I'm going to be entertained throughout. It is entertaining. It is not an amazing movie, but it is fun to watch. I had a good time.
I don't go into video game movies expecting amazing things, but I can't believe you didn't put Postal as one of your top.
Oh, Postal's up there. Yeah. I like Postal more.
Postal was wonderful.
I need to watch Postal.
You really do. The opening of that movie with the terrorists at 9/11 is the best.
The only thing I've seen of Postal is the scene where they're having to shoot out in the theme park, and the only people getting shot are the kids. And I'm like, God damn, that's funny as fuck.
That movie is. I think that movie's better. Doesn't
Uwe Boll like use one as like a shield too?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
There's a scene where Uwe Boll just says like, "Yes, I fund my movies with Nazi gold."
Oh,
it's like, what the fuck?
It's no, dude. Because like the best part of that too is him like being a dick to everyone that's like talk shit about him.
Yeah,
it's so good. It's so fucking.
I definitely
that he can take a joke.
I definitely like Postal more than this movie, but
you know what, Postal is
worse.
just a great movie. Like Postal's hilarious. I don't know if I'd laugh as hard the second time.
I don't know. We gotta get
your review of the Postal movie made me want to play through Postal 2, which I have on my PC.
Nice. Yeah, you should watch it. You both should watch it. Two of these hosts here haven't seen
where
it.
the dude like he just gets up and his dick's out and he like takes a shit in the toilet but doesn't wipe or flush, like he's sitting on it talking to a guy and then just gets up and walks away.
Joe's face during this whole thing where you're just describing something that he finds horrifying, but it's just like a dumb fun movie for idiots.
It was so stupid.
It's like Joe
We're gonna have to watch Postal again and do like a commentary on like Twitch or something.
It's like Joe watching Idiocracy, but if Idiocracy had like none of the fucking social commentary that Idiocracy has.
I love Idiocracy. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm saying if Idiocracy was like a dumb movie, which it's not. It's a very smart movie.
Yeah, that's what makes it great. It's like,
yes, I'm saying if Idiocracy was dumb.
That doesn't work. It just doesn't work.
That's Postal.
Yeah.
You can just say it's a dumb, funny movie.
It is a dumb, funny movie.
And like Austin Powers is a dumb, funny movie.
And when they talk about how many virgins Saddam said he's going to give them, and then he's like, I thought it was 72. He's like, no, I heard like 22. And they go and he's like, I can only at this time give you like 13 and a half.
Yeah, and then they try to pull up and not hit the tower, but it's too late.
Everyone breaks in behind him. They're like, no, we're going to the Bahamas. We're going to the Bahamas. And they force him into the tower.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking funny.
He's like, do you want to go to the Bahamas? He's like, yeah, we're going to tell everyone. And they go to do it. And then everyone breaks into that. It's so fucking bad. Do you know what someone should do in Enough? There's that Robert Pattinson movie where he's like cleaning the Twin Towers. It's like a love movie. And the last scene, so it's like a love movie. It's like a chick flick.
Twilight 5.
Yeah, but the last scene of the movie is like it shows the date and
Manhattan, 2001.
He's in the Twin Towers like cleaning one of them. And like it shows a plane in the distance and then it ends the movie. It's like, oh, he's going to die.
Oh, that's kind of
What they should do is put that one and then cut the Postal scene into
it.
All right.
Yeah, that scene is way crazy in Postal. It's like, holy shit.
And it wasn't very long after 9/11. It was like, what, 4 years after 9/11? Or like
that's what
like,
surprised me.
It was so close.
Hold on. Postal, or are you talking about the Robert Pattinson movie?
Postal.
No,
Postal. It should have been
Postal came out in like 2008, I think. 2007.
But still, that's only 6 years after what happened.
Yeah.
So like,
I don't even think I was joking about it then. Although I was only like, what, fucking 16?
From the mouth of babes.
I don't know, man. Going into the 9/11 memorial, you just like, ugh.
Yeah, that was pretty rough. It's one of those things that you just don't talk. Like you're silenced while you're in there. It's pretty deep. But
I can't imagine you not talking shit. That's weird.
no, it was like,
There's no talking shit in that 9/11 memorial.
yeah, dude. There's a room upstairs that's pretty rough. It's just like a bunch of like missing posters from people looking for their family members.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I was like, I
Well,
didn't want to go in there.
The 9/11 memorial is not nearly as much of a laugh riot as the Holocaust memorial. Just saying.
Yeah, they didn't deserve it nearly as much.
It's different when it's on your soil. You know, like that one hits closer to home.
Yeah. The other one, I'm like, you know.
They're like, oh, what's yours? I signs it. I'm like, oh my god.
For fucking for clarity for the listeners, I have been to Dachau, like actually. So there you go.
Also,
yeah, it's not as cool as Auschwitz.
also, Joe thought you were a Jew, so like,
let's rank the Holocaust museum.
If my grandma went through here.
let's rank. Oh my god.
So, what can I say?
Yeah.
Nude Clan ranking of the concentration
The
camps.
face.
Number 2,
I
Dachau.
thought you were
Number
Jewish,
1,
dude. I'm so
Auschwitz.
sorry.
And number 1,
I don't know
Auschwitz.
where I
Who
got
could
that from?
deny?
If you want to find free shoes, this is the place for you.
Yeah. You will literally never run out of shoes, belts, or stopwatches.
Oh my god.
Need golden teeth? We got you covered.
I wanna jump into this, but like,
I'm not gonna fucking.
I can't.
Thanks
do
for
it.
watching this ranking video of all the camps. Catch us next time for Cambodia.
Should do a
The
top
killing
10,
field.
top
Next
10
episode.
Watch Mojo on that shit.
It's gonna be on Ms. Mojo though. We're gonna do that.
Fuck Watch
funnier.
Mojo.
Watch Mojo's top 10 genocides in history.
Yeah. They would probably be like, number 1 would be something bullshit.
Armenia.
Always.
Yeah, Armenia. Come on.
You gotta do-
Armenia number 1?
No, you gotta
Nobody
do.
even cares about
You
it.
gotta do them when they do
God.
them, and it's like when they're like, "Suit next, our number 1." But first, we're gonna show you the runners up.
We're going to show you the runners up. Nazi Germany.
You thought
Mao
it was
is
gonna
China.
be number 1,
What?
but it would be too easy.
It's not even in the 10.
I think Mao was the one that killed the
is
most.
kind of
right?
overrated
Yeah.
in our opinion.
Yeah.
Pol Pot killed the most based on population.
Yeah.
And Mao killed the most overall.
Yeah. And then Stalin and then Hitler.
Yeah. Hitler's, top 5.
He stays top 5. Barely.
He's top 5. He's not
Two,
best, but
just
he's still
to be
top
fair,
5.
2 communist regimes are over the Nazi regime.
Yeah. That's why he shot himself, because he knew he wasn't going to be number 1. Third place? What?
Like, God damn it.
Did you say I'm third place?
But I'm white. How can I be third place?
Jesus.
Is that fucking Stalin?
He has better mustache, motherfucker.
Stalin and this Chinese fuck?
What do you mean they killed the Italian man?
I cannot stay here.
They ripped him out of the car.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's Mussolini, too.
Yeah, dude. That's like my favorite death because him and his wife were trying to get the fuck out of Dodge and they stopped him and they pulled him out of his car and just beat the shit out of him.
Yeah.
It's poetry.
Yeah. I just think of Godfather 3, like shotgun out of the car. It's probably a better scene.
Anyway, this was a good Mortal Kombat review.
Yeah.
Dude, we're talking about fatalities.
Next time on
Yeah.
Massive Fatalities of History.
Yeah.
Adolf Hitler went from artist to murderer.
Perform Adolf Hitler's fatality, dude. Down, down, back, right, medium punch.
The fucking oven comes up from the ground. You kick him into it.
Genocide. Adolf wins.
Oh my god!
If you think that's bad, where do you see Adolf Hitler's friendship?
Oh.
Oh my god!
This is terrible.
Yeah. Man.
That's what they want us for. This is what our listeners,
You got a month off with
this is what our listeners ask us for.
It's been a month since I've heard a good Adolf Hitler joke. Better tune in to Nude Clan and see what's up.
Yeah. Oh man.
Tall in the Twitch chat just says, this is atrocious.
Wait, what? Did someone say that for real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is.
All right.
Wait, who said it? Let me see.
It was Critical.
Critical. You don't like, and you know what? It's okay, buddy. You don't have to like everything we do.
This is definitely making me uncomfortable.
But we're probably gonna come for your teeth next.
But I'm still laughing.
I'm still laughing.
I don't know.
Dude, history's terrible, and you gotta laugh at it because it's disgusting.
Yeah.
Crin, you know I'm a good guy. We've made out before in person. Come on.
Yeah, we were pretty much. I mean, he was driving, so I guess he was.
I've had A4 on top of me.
Sitting on Joe's lap, and I could feel his 4.5-inch penis.
Well, you know they say that's average.
That's a little long.
Yeah, my pocket knife was in there
I'm
too.
definitely below average on the penis end. So 4 inches is average.
But you know what? You got the best ass.
If you're really,
He's got the best tits.
Thanks.
Joe, if you're willing to admit your place in the penis arms race, then that's all fine.
I don't know where it is because no one else has named their price, nor have I. But I get the feeling of where I'm at.
I'm sorry. Critical says, I have Frenched all of you except Alex.
Alex? What?
That's impossible. Everyone's Frenched Alex because Schweiss watches from the cupboard.
I don't know if you know.
I French kissed Schweiss, so technically I French kissed Alex, just by residue.
Oh,
so.
you're like Eskimo brothers.
You said he is next. Do you think A4's name is Alex? Because it's not. It's even worse.
It's a name that you
He's
don't.
close. It's Aloysius.
No, it's not.
A4's name was revealed on the last podcast. You can find out by listening to the interview with Hooney Pop star.
Yeah, that fucking bitch doxed me. What the fuck?
She was nice, actually. She was a really nice lady.
She was amazing. I love Jack. She's amazing.
Yep. You can, guys. That's enough for this review. We're gonna review what? Are we gonna do After Dark next or Devour?
Well, how much time does Zach have?
I can stay for an After Dark episode. And then I got a piece. I have
Okay.
like an hour.
Because I'm only 3 beers in.
Let's do After Dark then.
I'm
next.
only 3 beers in. But these will be out of order when we put them on, aren't they?
No, I'll put them in order. It's fine. They can get an After Dark whenever I fucking decide they want an After
Whenever
Dark.
Joe fucking decides it, you fucking get it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, we do have improved video for the stream, and like a little backdrop here. Hopefully we can get a couple more cameras in and we can go back and forth and have like a legitimate show here sometime in the future.
Do you know what that makes me think of, though?
We
Sorry.
need Schweiss boner cam so when we talk about Lady D when we review Resident Evil Village, we can see how hard he gets.
I'm gonna lift the table.
You'll see it kind of like flop a little.
So you need to put the table, Schweiss. I think, Zach, I think Schweiss will do it himself.
No, I'm gonna have a boner too. So when you were talking about like the whole setup,
Yeah.
and it was going back and forth, all I thought about was when they're high in that 70s show. And he just like goes and
That's what you thought we were
I was
gonna-
laughing. No, I knew it wasn't what we were gonna do, but that's what I kept thinking.
We're
and
just
I
gonna
just
sit in a dark basement and have a lot of smoke machines around us, and then
well, no, just because like you're like when we talk, the camera's gonna focus on you, and it just I just laughed.
what kind of hell would I be putting Jake through if Jake had to sit there with the camera and whip pan to whenever someone was talking?
I think it's funny, but like
He's got to count somehow.
I saw that little fucker on YouTube. What's his name? It's like Logan Paul or Jake Paul. Which Paul is it?
it's one of them.
Who gives a fuck?
Who, the motherfucker one with the YouTube channel. Okay,
Logan.
his YouTube channel. I watched one video because he had a guest on there, or started watching one video because he had a guest on there.
Didn't finish it.
And I saw the camera work is obnoxious. It's like a handheld thing, and the guy does that. He whip pans to whoever's talking, and he like rack zooms in, and there's also like a digital smoothing effect to it, and it is so horribly done. Horribly done.
Hold the phone. You're telling me a blonde YouTuber turned MMA star has a cameraman that makes his videos seem like he's a giant douchebag?
Oh, he was a douchebag before that cameraman.
No
We all know
shit.
about the fucking incident with the...
Wait, do you want to box him?
With the Mount Fuji suicide forest?
Yeah, the suicide forest thing, yeah.
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
There was an actual dead person.
Yeah,
that
he
they
filmed
came
an
across,
actual,
and
yeah,
he
person
started
saying-
making some
Mount
jokes.
Fuji suicide forest, and he was like, look at this guy.
It was
Yeah, there's a forest in Japan where people go and they hang themselves.
it was pretty bad.
Oh.
So,
which we should go to for Nude Clan.
I mean, we could joke about it here, but if there was like, if we were there
and we see someone swinging,
and we saw someone dead, we would go get the police.
Should have called it Mount Kamikaze.
He's wearing a hat of one of the aliens from Toy Story.
God, he's such a fucking retard.
No shit.
He should have put it on one of the dead guys.
Fuck Logan or Jake, whichever one's the douche.
Isn't Logan Paul the?
Both suck.
Logan Paul's the older one. Jake Paul's the younger
Is
one. But
Logan the actor?
One of them
No,
is the
it's the younger
YouTube
one.
star. The
The
other
other
one's
one-
the MMA guy, but they both do MMA.
The younger one was on a Disney Channel show for a while.
Oh.
I've seen like memes.
Doesn't
I don't know if I know who these
Doesn't
people
matter.
are. But
Fuck
yeah.
the Paul that I'm talking about, and fuck.
Paul's.
I'm not gonna say the Pauls because I don't know the other Paul.
Last name is Paul fucking...
Yeah, how many first names do you need? I mean, I bet his middle name better be like Anderson or something. Better have like a last name somewhere in there.
Proper.
But what he's saying is,
Yeah.
just get yourself a little better cameraman.
Fuck him. Fuck Kotaku. And we need a better cameraman on Nude Clan. But we did improve the setup by, I don't know, 50%.
Tripod.
So, yeah, we got a tripod.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we just need 2 more cameras, a switcher, another computer where audio doesn't get, louder for the person who's...
I'll fly out to Utah. You guys can chain me up in Schweiss's basement, and I will work for free.
How much would it cost to fly you out here every month?
That's a great question that I'm about to answer. Hold on,
Yeah,
let's see here.
go on.
You're not going high though.
Go on
lowest budget,
JetBlue,
yeah.
please. JetBlue or Skyscanner.
Yeah, you can sleep in my dog run, and I'll let you in every other day to get a shower, so we can record.
How far is Salt Lake City from you guys?
We can
Not
pick
there.
you up. It
Not
doesn't
very
It's
matter.
like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah, we'll pick you up.
Does Provo have an airport?
Yeah.
Does
Yeah, but you're not
have an
gonna. But you're
airport?
not gonna fly into there because it's like small.
If you get flights to Provo, it's going to be like you're not going to be able to get it at any time you want. It's going to be like once a week or something.
Yeah.
Something weird. It's like flying from Los Angeles to Provo. There was only the option to do it on Mondays and Fridays, and I was like, who the fuck came up with this? And I guess it's just for the people like that only work in Los Angeles and they come back to home on the weekends. And
Yeah.
That would be so fucking annoying, dude.
Hold on, I'm checking Expedia from Philadelphia to SLC is $106 for a one-way flight on Frontier Airlines.
so you're looking at like
$212.
$300 at the end of it.
With
Yeah.
taxes and
Yeah.
Okay, so we need you to get a
So-
second job. So, you
So
can
guys,
travel.
support us on patreon.com.
toss
Hold
a
on,
coin to your podcasters.
Wait, hold on. Round trip from Philly to Salt Lake City in the weekend of Monday, August 30th to Friday, September 10th is $235 round trip on Delta.
That's not that bad.
you'd have to be here for like 11 fucking days, but
We'll figure something out.
I do want to fly out and meet you guys in person. I mean, I already met you guys at KupoCon in Jersey.
Kuchicon,
but, like,
yeah.
yeah, we're
I
much
would
more
like to fly to Utah at some point.
Are you guys going to do that con again if it comes back?
we're much more impressive now. No, yes, probably. They keep doing it digitally though, so
Yeah,
I'm
fuck
not going to
that.
do that shit. Like everyone online is like, "Oh, we did KupoCon." I was like,
Well, that's why when KupoCon was announced for Jersey, I'm like, I'm going because I don't know when the fuck I'm going to meet these guys again in person. So what the fuck?
"Yeah, that was pretty cool."
Little did you know.
Yeah.
You're a part of the shit show now.
Literally, the only thing that sucked was that Zach and Craig weren't there.
Well, I wasn't even a part of the show then.
Yeah, Zach was just a blank.
Well,
or Zach was
I
just
was
a,
twinkling twice as I went ready to cut.
I think it was a
And
twinkling.
I met
camera.
Quinn, and I met we met a few other people. Who's that guy that dressed up as Lightning? What the fuck was his name? Fuck.
Steven.
Yeah, Steven.
Yeah, that guy was cool.
I know his
They were
full
cool.
name,
They were
actually.
I
cool.
just think it'd be cooler if, like, when they start doing more like gaming cons or whatever, if we went.
A4, I'm going to give you a little clue here. Never ask us to remember the names of someone we met on the show. A4, it's a bad idea. Guys, anybody listening here, look, we've met a lot of people. Sometimes, or especially me, I remember faces, I don't remember names.
I'm the exact same way. I remember faces, names not so good with.
Never.
This might be-
Do not corner
this-
me like that ever again.
Let's put it this way. This might be a little easier for me because it's within driving distance. But MagFest 2022 might be a cool idea. MagFest is fun as shit.
MagaFest?
Magfest. No, it's like video game music and stuff.
games. It's
Oh.
literally 4 days straight 24 hours of music and games.
Yeah, they have like a bunch of like
It's
arcade
amazing.
cabinets set up, and like there's a bunch of.
They have a
stuff.
huge arcade room. They have a huge free play console room. MagFest is fun as shit, but I don't know when the fuck they're going to do a MagFest next because of COVID.
Yeah. You should just move out
in
here. It'd
DC.
be
It's in
easier.
DC. It's in National Harbor, DC, but it's fun as shit.
You're done out there. I mean, you've seen everything, right? Just come out to the west.
Yeah, it's gonna be like 5 goes west. It's
Into
A4 goes
the
west.
west. You know, Creditol was talking about coming out here.
We'll go to Anime Expo in LA or whatever the fuck. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go to another exposition in LA. That shit's packed. I went to
And come to
Comic-Con in
DC.
LA, and that was packed.
Dude, I was gonna. So this last year before like when COVID was bullshit, I was gonna go help my friend's dad's company set up for San Diego Comic-Con. And so you usually go in the early setup, and you get free passes to go, like VIP passes to go around the con and get backstage, and then you just help tear down like the 2 days after, and then COVID hit.
Oh,
So I was gonna go for free, set shit up on like the day, like 2 days before, and then they give you a voucher for food. And my buddy's like, we don't need to eat; we just use it to buy stuff.
I didn't go to the San Diego one, which is the big one.
Yeah.
I went to the LA one.
Okay.
And we also got in for free. Timo knew a costuming guy who was judging a contest, and Timo was like, do you want to go? And I'm like, I guess. And it was right down the street from where I lived.
So you're like, yeah, might as well.
Because I lived right down the street from the Staples Center, so I just walked there.
That's sick.
And yeah, it was really huge and a lot of people and a lot of nerds. I saw Elijah Wood there. That was cool.
Dude, so at San Diego or Salt Lake Comic Con, I was walking to get food and I almost walked into Ron Perlman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we were like, I'm like, oh, holy shit! And he's like, hey, like, I was like, oh shit, I'm not gonna bug you, man. Like, I get it. I'm like, love your movies though, and he's like, thanks, man, and just kept walking, and I was like, rad.
Nice.
Yeah.
So anyways, guys, thank you for listening to this review of Mortal Kombat. Please support us on Patreon, twitch.tv/Nude Clan Gaming for when we're streaming these episodes live. And when we're playing the games, we often stream on there as well. There is a Nude Clan Conan Exile server. If you guys want to get on that action, come join the Discord and talk to us on there, and we'll get you in there. We have 10 slots available as of this recording.
You want to support our other project?
8 slots available as of this recording.
Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast. You can come listen to Joe and I talk all things Final Fantasy over there. Puff Puff Hour, a Dragon Quest podcast. Jake and former hosts review some Puff Puff, the Dragon Quest series. For Future Against More, Song of Schweiss and Johnson, me and my buddy James go over all of the Game of Thrones content you could possibly want. And the Godzilla podcast, Joe and his friend Drew. Hopefully we'll be getting some more of that soon.
Next week.
And I'm not going to promise anything, but me and Zach might have an anime podcast in the works. Just we've been wanting to do it for a while, so
Okay,
might
we'll
be
see.
time to finally pull the trigger.
We'll see.
I don't need you.
I know. I realized when I said that, it sounded like, we'll see, like I was judging whether or not that would happen.
Yeah.
Not me going, I guess we'll see if that happens, which is what I meant.
I don't need your fucking permission.
We'll
Bob.
see
We'll
if
see.
you get kicked out of the band.
Yeah.
We'll see. And then, of course, you can support our Indiegogo page, Indiegogo.com/concentration camp simulator.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
my
2022.
God.
Super Auschwitz Simulator
Jesus
2022.
Christ. It's the third time you brought that shit up on this show.
I know. It's a great idea.
Look, until we get a developer, I'm going to keep throwing it out there because I know someone will develop that fucking game.
Everyone, look, we love sim games.
Sim
I mean,
genocide.
I want it to be
Dude,
the-
that could be the next survival horror, like lunch lady one.
I want that shit to be the roller coaster.
You're trying to run from the SS.
No. You're a. Oh shit! Who is it?
You could make a horror game out of that concept.
Totally could.
You're a Tutsi running from like a Hutu in the fucking Rwandan genocide.
Oh my god!
I remember that movie. That's a good pull. We're gonna watch that in my film literacy class.
Until Rwanda was the laugh out loud comedy of 2002.
Yeah, I love machetes.
I love seeing Joe's face when we say these things.
Yeah.
It's because I don't know which one's gonna come back to haunt me. I don't know. It'd be like,
He's got a list, and he's just.
and he laughed. and he laughed at that horrible joke.
Yeah, it's fucking funny. I don't know what you offer.
I know it's a joke. It's funny, but it does make my stomach churn.
Well, because there's people that are like, but it's a joke. I mean, you know it was a joke, but you're still gonna bitch about it. Like,
Yeah, I know.
Don't go to the Indiegogo page.
Okay. The other thing is to please track your hog on hogib.herokuapp.com. The link is in the description of this episode. This time.
Please, just make it a fucking tab on your browser on your phone. Every single time I listen to an album or an episode of the show or I beat a game, I hog it immediately. It is extremely cathartic and fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can see where you rank against other listeners as well. So, guys, that's it for this episode. We'll see you next time.
Live always in the nude.
toasty.
Rock with your cock held high.
Fuck off.
Yeah!